The first weekend of the 2023 MLB season is officially in the books, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it was an absolute blast. Baseball is in a fantastic place right now. Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, they went back to back. It was beautiful to watch. Giancarlo Stanton nearly hit a baseball 500 feet. Kodai Senga of the Mets finally made his long-awaited debut, and that ghost splitter did not disappoint. And then also, Joey Gallo, my friend, had his best game in like 3 or 4 years. Reminder, guys, if you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon, please save yourself 20 bucks off using code Fuzzy on SeatGeek. And also, we talk about baseball every single day, so stick around. Hit that subscribe button. Now, we have about 13 to 14 games to recap, and I want to start with the Padres and the Rockies game because obviously I have to show off this Trent Grisham home run real quick. But the story of this one was absolutely the newcomers. Xander Bogaerts, he belted his second home run of the season. He already seems like a fan favorite in San Diego. No, not San Diego. Zan. Get it? Like Xander Bogaerts. Anyways, Seth Lugo, he dominated as well. The only blemish of Seth Lugo's day was a solo shot to Ryan McMahon in the 7th inning, but he goes 7 with 7 strikeouts, does not allow a single walk. Josh Hader had 0 issues in the 9th inning. He has a 1-2-3 save as the San Diego Padres, they bounce back for back-to-back W's. The Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers like it was a game from 1952 and people still played small ball on a daily basis. No, like actually it was kind of surreal to watch because bunts and stolen bases might be back in baseball, and younger fans, they're not used to that. They're used to a lot of strikeouts and home runs. That's pretty much it. Corbin Carroll, he stole 2 bags in the 5th inning. He got to 3rd base for Perdomo, and by the way, Corbin Carroll might steal 60 to 70 bags at some point in his career because of these new rules. But anyways, Perdomo immediately took advantage of Corbin Carroll's speed. He knocked him in. Arizona, they tied up for Zach Davies, who looked pretty solid, holding LA to just 1 run on 4 hits. And would you look at that? That is an RBI bunt single for the win. Jake McCarthy, he's like top 2 or 3% in sprint speed. That is a scary combination having him and Corbin Carroll on the same team. 33-year-old Scott McGough earned his first career save, and I just want to give this guy a quick shout out because he had not pitched in the big leagues since 2015, nearly 8 years. I just want to let you guys know Aaron Judge is currently on pace for not only a 60 home run season, but like 160 home runs. My God, Stanton, he went off as well. That ball had a family, Giancarlo. 485 feet, 118 miles an hour off the bat. Higashioka, he couldn't quite get to 485 feet, but a home run is a home run nonetheless. This was all for the rookie pitcher making his debut, Johnny Brito, who was historically good in his debut. He's the first pitcher in Yankees history to allow 2 hits or fewer, strike out 6, and not allow a single earned run. Again, we're talking about the entire Yankees history. He's the first to ever do that. Good for him. He was not fazed at all by the moment. You know who I haven't talked about one time this entire season? Aaron Hicks, and that's because he has been very bad over the last pretty much year and a half, whether that's because of injuries or to him just not playing well at all and maybe succumbing to the pressure of being a Yankees outfielder. Yeah, he pretty much came out and said that he wants to play every single day. Aaron Hicks has been kind of speaking out of his you-know-what for a while now. I hope that he gets traded soon because he's kind of just a full-blown distraction. When I say the Rays put on a masterclass, I mean it. Tampa Bay, they're going to be so terrifying once Tyler Glasnow is back at 100%. Jeffrey Springs was the star of this game. But real quick, I had to show off Randy Arozarena's first home run of the season, 440 feet. That ball was torched, and he's just so cool. Springs, he shoved yesterday, striking out 12 hitters over 6 no-hit innings. He was taken out because that's just what Kevin Cash does. He does not want to waste bullets early on in the season. But again, Jeffrey Springs, 81 pitches, 12 strikeouts, 18 of the 19 hitters that he faced, he threw a first pitch strike. The rotation of McClanahan, Glasnow, Springs, Eflin, Rasmussen, that might be the best in Major League Baseball. Also, shout out to Jose Siri, who has 5 RBIs and a stolen base over his first 3 games. He's looking to break out this year, and he has the talent to do so. The Red Sox and the Orioles, my God, this series has been nothing but offense. Enrique Hernandez is really trying to prove to the Boston fan base that he doesn't suck. He has 2 home runs already after a poor 2022 performance in which he had 6 home runs the entire season. Verdugo, he got to Cole Irvin, who I don't think is very good. I feel like Baltimore, their fan base should be irate at their general management because their pitching staff is terrible. I might have to make a full-blown video on how terrible the offseason was for the Orioles because it is offensive. Speaking of offensive, offensively, the Orioles are going to be fine. Bolins is going to be a fantasy god. He has 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 3 stolen bases. He could get into the 20-60 club. That's 20 home runs, 60 stolen bases. Now back to Boston, where yet again they almost put up a 10 spot. Yoshida had an RBI. Duvall brought home 2, so he now has 8 RBIs already on the year. Casas, Hernandez, and Verdugo, they did the rest of the damage on some RBI singles. Just an awful show of pitching all the way around for both teams. The White Sox and the Astros was a pretty fun series to watch, and in large part because Luis Robert Jr. is not playing around this year. No joke, he can be a 30-30 guy. That's 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases with platinum defense. He just has to stay healthy. That is the only question about him. He gave Mike Clevenger a lead, and Clevenger did not disappoint in his White Sox debut. 3 hits, 8 strikeouts against that Houston lineup. That's pretty good. They'll take that every single day. Andrew Vaughn, he stays raking, and I don't think that the White Sox fan base misses Jose Abreu as much because Vaughn has been an RBI monster through the first few games. Oscar Colas, the rookie, he's hitting 357 after that RBI base hit. His first RBI of his career. Tim Anderson and Moncada, they did the rest of the damage for the White Sox. Moncada, a 2-run Oppo Taco, his second of the year. He's number 1 in the AL for hits, doubles, home runs, and strikeouts. Yeah, Yohan Moncada, he's back. J-Rod finally clubbed his first home run of the season. He used all of that raw strength to power it the other way. And then this swing right here, I mean, it almost made me emotional. I mean, I've had to watch Austin Hedges flounder at the plate for almost 2 years now. That 3-run bomb was all I needed. Mike Zunino, he could go 0 for 900, and I'm way happier with him. This game was kind of sloppy, so we're going to fast forward to the later innings where rookie Tim Herrin made his debut, and he made it count. 4 hitters, 4 strikeouts. The first time since 1901 that a pitcher has faced 4+ hitters and struck out all of them. So Tim Herrin, remember that name. Stephen Kwan, he ties it at 5. He's already up to 6 RBIs on the season. The Guardians, they end up taking the lead thanks to Cal Raleigh messing up his throwing meter. The Guardians take 3 of 4 from the Mariners without Tristan McKenzie. That blew my mind because notoriously Cleveland, they always start off slow. So if they're starting off hot, watch out. The Twins are also starting off very hot. Ryan Jeffers and Joe Ryan, they took over the first half of this one versus the Royals. Jeffers had 2 RBI singles, and Billy from Stranger Things, aka Joe Ryan, he carved his way through 6. He had 6 strikeouts. Now we got to talk about my friend Joey Gallo, his first home run of the year. He had a walk, a double, a home run, make it 2 home runs. That 3-run shot was all I needed to see. He is back, ladies and gentlemen. My friend is going to hit 40 home runs and maybe win a Gold Glove. And also, I'm sorry for all the new fans who have never heard me say my friend. It's an inside joke. It's pretty cringe. I'm sorry you had to hear it. But the Twins, they sweep the lowly Kansas City Royals. They have all the talent in the world. The White Sox look really good. The Twins look really good. The Guardians look really good. The Central might not be as bad as everyone's making it out to be, although the Tigers and the Royals, they do suck a lot. Listen, I know it was against the Athletics, but this was a series the Angels needed to dominate, and dominate they did, at least after the first game. All that they needed was Anthony Rendon to get in a scuffle with a random fan. Logan O'Hoppe, this kid does not look like a catcher. He looks like the next JT Realmuto because he's built like a linebacker. That's his first home run of the season, and isn't this just beautiful? Trout and Ohtani, they go back-to-back. Honestly, Trout and Ohtani going back-to-back should be considered the 8th wonder of the world. That is the 5th time they have gone back-to-back in their careers. Tyler Anderson in his debut, he showed out. 6 shutout innings. He only allowed 4 base hits, and by the way, Carlos Estevez, another newcomer to the Angels, he struck out the side in the 9th inning. He is going to be the key to the Angels' success. Yes, it's not Mike Trout, it's not Ohtani. Straight up, the bullpen stinks so much that Carlos Estevez is going to have to step up, and I think he can do it. The Rangers and the Phillies, Philadelphia is trying to not get swept, and that was not a great start. Josh Young, with his first long ball of the season, he is finally 100% healthy, and he could mess around and win a Rookie of the Year in the AL. Martin Perez, he was battling Phillies lefty Bailey Falter, and the Phillies faltered just enough to get swept by the Rangers. Bad joke, I'm sorry. But all jokes aside, the Rangers made a statement this weekend. Simeon grabbed the lead for Martin Perez, who struck out 7. He has been worth every single penny since breaking out last year. He had a 4.7 ERA in his first 10 seasons. He has a 2.85 ERA over his last 33 games. I completely forgot that Will Smith, no, not the Dodgers Will Smith, not the Oscars Will Smith. Will Smith of the Braves is now a Ranger. He nailed down his first save as the Phillies, they do get swept. The Nationals faced off against the Braves, and that Juan Soto trade came in clutch yesterday versus Atlanta. Mackenzie Gore, he was lights out. He is going to be so good for them, and he got some help early from the offense. Well, I guess the offense was kind of helped out by the Braves. Rookie starting pitcher Jared Schuster, who got torched in his debut. The Nationals, they tagged him for 4 runs on 6 hits, 5 walks. Now, he did settle down, so I kind of tip my cap to him. It was too little, too late. Gore was basically unhittable. He struck out 6, only allowed 1 run, and a very solid start against a very good Braves lineup. So again, even though Schuster, he did calm down, you got to tip your cap to the Nationals. They won this game pretty easily, and their young talent, they're coming. Speaking of young talent that is on the come up, the Reds, they could be really good in the next few years, especially with that pitching staff, because we know that Hunter Green, he throws 105. Nick Lodolo is a top 5 lefty, in my opinion, or at least he's going to be in all of baseball. But this Graham Ashcraft guy, he's no joke as well. He got a few runs early, courtesy of Jason Vossler's first home run of the season. Tyler Stevenson had an infield single. He's a catcher, one of my favorite offensive catchers in baseball. And then you have Ashcraft throwing the longest start of any pitcher in this opening weekend. He struck out 6, only allowed 1 runner to cross home plate. He also throws super hard, like a 99-mile-an-hour cutter or something crazy like that. TJ Friel, he had a home run, and Alexis Diaz grabbed his first save of the year. The Reds, with Noelvi Marte, Ellie De La Cruz, all of their young prospects, if they can keep developing their pitchers, they could be a World Series contender in the next 3 or 4 years. I mean, that might sound crazy to say, but they're legit. So, like, where do the Cardinals keep finding these guys? Brendan Donovan, at least to me, came out of nowhere last year. He had 5 home runs in 2022 already to begin 2023. He's pretty much already there. 2 home runs to begin the first few days of the season. 24-year-old Alec Burleson, again, out of nowhere. Looks like he could be pretty good. And this kid right here, we all know that he was going to be good. He was a super prospect. Nolan Gorman, he had himself a day. That's a 450-foot moonshot off of Chris Bassett. He got a hold of another one after Nolan Arenado had an RBI single. Nolan Gorman has a legit chance at being a superstar offensive player. He led the charge of embarrassing Chris Bassett in his Blue Jays debut. Oh, and there's Alec Burleson again with an RBI extra base hit. The Cardinals pitching staff, they're not elite by any means, but that offense, they're kind of the Mike Tyson of major league teams. They're just gonna knock you out. Another team that scored 9, the Milwaukee Brewers against the Chicago Cubs. Rookie Bryce Terang, he drove home his first career RBI. He looks very impressive through the first few days of the season. There's another rookie, Garrett Mitchell. He used that elite sprint speed to leg out an RBI 3-bagger. And the Brewers, they got tickets to a hit parade. Look at this, the 6th inning, you have Jesse Winker looking normal again in Milwaukee. He drove in 2 right before Adames and Mitchell found some holes as well for a few RBI singles. Eric Lauer, the crafty lefty, he was able to work around a few jams to toss a quality start. I would not want to face the Brewers in a 5-game series because that means you have to face Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta, or potentially Eric Lauer, and then that offense looks to be pretty good and vastly improved from last season. Yeah, would not want to face them at all. And now finally, we can talk about Kodai Senga making his debut. The Marlins defense kind of unplugged themselves and they handed the Mets 2 free runs early after an infield single to Jeff McNeil. Now it is Kodai Senga time. Yeah, he gave up that RBI double to Jorge Soler in the first, but he bared down and battled back to have a very impressive big league debut. 8 strikeouts over 5 innings. That is nastiness. He only allowed 3 base hits. Now, the walks maybe are going to be a concern. He allowed 3 of them, but when you throw 98 to 99 with a devastating splitter, sometimes you're going to walk people. It's going to happen. I have no issues with that. Tommy Pham can finally see what he's doing. He got brand new contacts over the offseason. Again, he can finally see 433 feet on that home run and then an RBI double later on in the game. The Mets, they win easily 5-1 over the Marlins. That does it for today's recap, but the recaps are going to keep on coming, so make sure you guys stick around and hit that subscribe button. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.